The crowds cheered. They loved her, they always had. Her written work had won hearts across the world, her words implanting fear deep in their souls. The Queen of Horror, that's what they called her. Her many books of horror had sold worldwide, making bestseller lists and whispered rumours of movie deals. The writer rolled with the tides and basked in her successes. She adored the attention, loved the feel of rich gowns and dazzling jewels, and relished in the sounds of the screams as she stood on red carpets amid flashing cameras and reaching hands. Most of the hands held her books, and she signed pages, pleasing fans who loved nothing more than to read words that sent chills spiralling through them, making their hair stand on end. It was her written word that caused them to double-lock their doors at night, to check under their beds before turning off the light, and to lay, guarding the shadows with wide eyes until sleep took control. But she was the Queen of Horror. They expected nothing less. And always she was smiling, a smile wide, bright, and as dazzling as a jewel she wore. Her smile spoke 1,000 words, but it also screamed 1,000 lies. As she waved and dazzled, no one knew of the shadow that darkened her heart. Being the Queen of Horror came at a price. Away from the light of the media, the writer transformed from the glitzy star to a writhing wreck that hunkered in the corner of a room. She lived on her own, but she was never alone. She cried at night and rocked herself to sleep, holding her hands over her ears and trying to block out the voices and the screams. The dead, they were everywhere. They tainted her very blood. From the child to the adult that she was today, they had remained with her, the voices of tortured souls crying for salvation and deliverance. But she couldn't help them, and because of this they drove her insane. And none was worse than the hooded figure that guarded over her every night and that fed her nightmares. He was the one who forced her to write, forced her to tell his tales of torture, to type until her fingers bled. His hooded face peered over her shoulder, whispering terrifying words and laughing at her tears. But it was his words that created her books, and her books earned her the fame that she loved. Being the Queen of Horror came at a price.